Hi YouTube, Coinpicker here. Just wanted to talk about my spring break trip to Guangzhou, China, which is, in English, it's also called Canton City, southern China. And I was there for 2 weeks, checked out some coin markets. Haven't been there in probably about 13, 14 years. And things have changed. No more street markets for like jade, antiques, and coins. Everything's pretty much like indoors. Prices are much higher, obviously. Their economy is much better. And yeah, it's just like, before it was like more like a flea market environment, really cool, fun. Now it's more like boutiques. So went to the street full of little coin stalls, and there was much more variety this time around when I came back. And it's very interesting because, you know, they would have like little stalls with a front counter and just jam-packed of, you know, old coins and new coins and just piled on top of each other. And you know, when I asked these shopkeepers, you know, like, oh, how much is that, you know, those bunch of silver, you know, 1920 20-cent China coins, you know, they would say, oh, sorry, not for sale, we just purchased. So basically they just take in those kind of coins and probably, you know, have them graded or sell them online or whatnot. But it was just basically to draw attention so you could, you know, bring in your stuff to sell. So I popped into one of these multi-level, sort of like a coin, you could say coin mall, where they have lots of little shops inside. And you know, I was surprised to see there was a lot of graded, you know, like NGC graded Chinese coins and, you know, crazy prices. Even the things that I like, you know, like those Chinese silver ingots, those old, you know, like 200-year-old ingots, they also had like graded versions, which were encased in sealed, large sealed plastic packaging I've never seen before. So, you know, their market for even those kind of items had advanced quite a bit, where it's almost treated like slabbed coins. So the only thing I could really afford was, you know, what caught my attention was there's one stall and they had basically a junk bin, like, you know, like a cookie tin full of odd, you know, coins here and there. And you know, the stall keeper was very nice, and, you know, he said, oh, you know, I asked him how much, and he goes, 3 renminbi each, which is about like 60 or 70 cents Canadian each. So, I mean, there was probably like, I'd say probably like a couple thousand coins in this little tin. So I go through them one by one, and I did pick out all these. A lot of it was just junk, foreign coins, you know, those old 1950s China aluminum, you know, 1 fan, 2 fan coins. Nothing of value really, but I did pick the best out of the bunch. So pretty cheap. I'll show you what I got. So I guess these are considered common or nothing of much interest to the local collectors. But I would have showed you or filmed you a video inside, but the way, you know, they were talking and everything, it just seems like they wouldn't appreciate it if I was filming. So I sort of refrained from filming and taking pictures inside the market. So here we have a Sung Dynasty Yuanfang Tongbao. Basically, it's a northern Sung Dynasty coin. Still considered very common, but, you know, it's worth a few bucks. You know, probably like $3-4. One cash coin. It's about from 1100 AD, so pretty ancient. Next one is also from the Northern Sung Dynasty. A little bit of corrosion, but it's pretty cool for the age. Also, about 1,000 years old. So I was picking out the ancient ones. Well, I really wanted just some souvenirs. I wasn't really gonna spend a ton of money buying ancient coins because I was really worried about taking these ones out of the country, or any ancient coins, because I think technically if it's like older than 100 years, you're really not allowed to take them out of the country without like special certificates and whatnot. And over a few bucks worth of coins, I really didn't want to hassle. I think this is Leung Chong Bao. Chong meaning heavy cash, so it's like a larger denomination. I already have most of these, or pretty much all of these, but for a cheap souvenir, I thought, why not? And this one is quite interesting. This one, I believe it's supposed to be a Ming Dynasty, very rare coin, but coming out of a junk box in China, Chinese coin, I highly doubt this one's authentic. This is probably just a reproduction, but it's pretty cool. And here is another of that Leung coin, same as this one, but the patina is a little bit different. And this one is a Guangzhou Tongbao, which is I guess late 1800s, like almost one of the last, second to last emperor of the Qing dynasty. I think like 1880s or something. But what's really interesting about this one, it is from the Xianyang or Xinkang area, 10 cash, which is like, I don't know, it's considered like, was it northwest? Basically it's where they have like the Silk Road and, where they have Muslim populations. I think it's like Kuchi mint. But if it was in great shape, this would be pretty expensive coin because of that mint mark. And I found another one, but this is actually, the mint mark. Oh, it's really corroded. The mint mark is Xin, meaning new, meaning short for Xinjiang area, region. And also the number 10 for 10 cash. And I even found a Vietnamese cash coin from, I think it's from the 1700s. Thai duck, or Thai de, which pretty neat, found in China. And this, I think the guy wanted me to round off, what I was paying him. So he goes, pick another coin, So I thought, okay, I don't want to disagree over, an extra coin. So I just not randomly, but I thought, okay, I pretty much got what I wanted, but I added in another, well, I know this is only a replica, but it's, not bad of a replica. It is supposedly a Tibetan, a coin made for Tibet during like the turn of the century, and from the Sichuan mint. So it's supposed to be the design is based on or copies an Indian rupee. Originally it was like I think it was Queen Victoria with a Mughal outfit, but now they switched it. You know, it's a Chinese, I guess maybe the Chinese emperor with the pigtail and I guess a Chinese official's hat. It's not silver, but you know, again, it was just for souvenirs anyways. So I added that to the bunch. And another stall, they had a bunch of, you know, 10 cash coins, you know, from the, I guess, turn of the century, late 1800s, early 1900s. And, you know, this old guy was like going one by one, looking at them all. And I asked the young guy at the counter, you know, can I look at some too? So he, you know, handed me another tray full of these. And, you know, they're not, they weren't packaged. It was just like raw and very, you know, pretty poor condition. And the guy was taking forever, the other guy. So I start looking at my bunch and going one by one, you know, looking at both sides and, you know, making stacks of what I finished. And it was really funny because eventually, once I finished all mine, you know, I asked them, oh, do you mind if I see that guy's, you know, after he's done? So I went through his stuff that his, you know, he was finished with. And the shopkeeper was pretty smart because the guy's taking forever. So actually he started to grab handfuls from the guy's, you know, the other guy's pile that he hasn't gone through and sort of sneaked a few stacks over to me, which I thought was funny. But I did find one keeper out of the bunch. And not because of the condition and not because it was a rarity, but because it is an error coin. So this is a 10 cash coin from China, from the Qing Dynasty, near the end of their reign, like this, like turn of the century. And I think it's called a split planchet. So this side is striated, but blank pretty much. So I don't think it's post-mint damage, or maybe it's what do you call it when the lamination you know, flakes off or something. But you see a little bit of the other side, just of this side, just this tiny bit. Let's see if I can focus up. So this is a flawed planchet, pretty thin. Too bad it's worn, you know, very worn on this side, very circulated. If not, it'd be like super expensive. But even like this, I think it's worth maybe 10 bucks, 15 bucks to someone. But I would definitely put it in my collection. Look at that. And, you know, the coins, it was probably a good, you know, 300-400 of these coins that the guy had. And I think he said, I think he charged me like, what was it? Like $5, 5 renminbi each. I believe so. Or maybe it was 3. No, it wouldn't be 3. It wouldn't be that cheap. It'd be like, yeah, 5, either 5 or 10. But it works out to be like $1 or 2 Canadian each. Probably, yeah, probably 10 renminbi each. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it was passed over by, I don't know how many collectors thinking it was like post-mint damage. But I do not think so. Yeah, that was pretty cool. And all this I put into my luggage, the big luggage that goes into the, you know, the under the airplane. They did not stop me at customs when I was leaving China, which was a good thing. I mean, worst comes to worst, I would just like say, okay, I don't want it. You can keep it, right? And I think in one mall, just like a regular shopping mall in their downtown area, I went into this coin shop that was just new stuff, you know, new bills, no old stuff really. And I picked up a 1 ounce silver, 1 ounce silver panda coin, which I always buy like once a year. I collect, you know, one a year. And the coin shop locally, you know, where I live, they have, you know, they always say, you know, when I ask them, you know, has the 2018s come in yet? And they always say no. The boss wants to sell out all the old stuff, like last year's first, before they order more. So it's like taking forever. And I end up getting one in China before they even, you know, got their shipment. I think by the time I came back, they had the shipment in. And I believe it was slightly cheaper. It worked out to be like $34 Canadian for this. But if I bought it back home, even if it was like similar priced, it would just be like in a capsule by itself. But actually in China, even for these bullion coins, they give you the original box and even a certificate, which is pretty cool. So I'll just show you this. And here's the certificate. I mean, it's not numbered or anything, but still, it's nice to have a little information. Anyways, yeah, these are my souvenirs from my trip from China. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment and subscribe. And like, of course. Coinpicker out.